Hi everyone and welcome back to another episode of Trip Around the Multiverse with your host, the man who is from Harlem but is really from Houston, Texas, Kyle Charles.
And the check cashing, sucker trashing, Nevellini, spinnerini, slam jamming, 5-time WCW champion, T.Y. Chung.
And in this episode, we're going to talk about one of my personal favorite wrestlers of all time. Yes. Probably one of the most decorated WCW champions of all time.
And probably one of the most decorated champions.
In general, isn't it?
Yeah.
One of the best. Hall of Famer. 2-time Hall of Famer. Yep. And the person with the most WCW tag team title reigns. Yep. The man, the legend, Booker T. Can you dig it?
SUCKA. Yeah. Have you seen the Warriors?
Yeah.
So when Simon's like, "Can you dig it?" I was like, "All right." Yeah. I mean, I watched the Warriors way later on.
Yeah, same. I was like, "Oh, that's where he got it from."
Well, it's not actually there, but it's just more like that era of that time that we went around for. But
yeah,
he's obviously born in that era and that time, and he's like, "Yeah."
Yep.
Cool. But you remember, of course, when he had this Harlem Heat music.
Yep.
It's just the Harlem Heat theme, isn't it? I mean, that's what the name of it was called.
I think it's called like Heat or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't know if there was any other name for it, but it used to not have anything at the front of it.
Yeah.
Actually, did Stevie Ray come out with that as well?
Yeah, when they were part of the tag team, or they wrestled alone. Yeah, he would come out to that too.
So Stevie Ray came out with that when they wrestled alone as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Booker T used to have "Don't hate the player, hate the game."
Yeah.
And this was in the last couple of years of WCW.
Yep, when they tried to make him like The Rock and Triple H at the same time.
Yeah. Well, this is like when I was watching it, and Vinny Russo being transitioning from WWF to WCW, who basically was like, "Well, Booker T, you're going to be The Rock, and Scott Steiner, you're going to be Triple H." And it's like, I mean, they are them. Booker T is Booker T.
Yeah.
And Scott Steiner is Scott Steiner.
Yeah.
Don't try to modify them into
something else.
That's exactly.
Another company,
Yeah. But it's when he came to WWF, he just started with the Harlem Heat theme. No, don't hate the player, hate the game.
Did he start with that?
Yeah. It had nothing at the beginning of it, I don't think. And then it changed to "Can you dig it, sucker?" a bit later on.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, because don't hate the player, hate the game, and then it's like, okay, well, Triple H is the game, so yeah. And I was like, okay, I get that kind of logical. I mean, unless you're gonna say he's feuding with Triple H constantly when he. Oh, do you remember his other catchphrase, by the way?
Wait, what was his other catchphrase?
Booker T's other catchphrase. Do you remember it?
No.
He had this one he was trying to get over in WCW. Save the drama for your mama.
Oh wow! I legit probably just blanked out my brain because that's terrible.
It stayed with me because him and Sting were in a promo, a small little. I think they were tag teaming or something like that, but they were on the same promo.
Yeah.
And then Sting is saying about whatever, and then because they're supposed to be a team there, right? But they're supposed to have like tension, and Booker T is like trying to end the promo. He's ending the promo with Sting, save the drama for your mama. And then that didn't quite well. Again, then Sting started telling him, "Going, what you?" Yeah. So yeah, but I don't think that got over enough for him to. He did try to use it a couple of times, but I don't. Yeah, it never stuck. I don't think.
Okay.
So okay,
that's terrible.
Yeah. It is. But this guy has a very expansive career, and I think he's underrated to a certain degree.
Yeah.
At certain points.
Yeah.
Only because when the WCW had all this time to push him to make him a main eventer, which he eventually got to, but then it just seemed like he got there because there was disputes going on with other stuff.
Yeah. He kind of got there I won't say he got there too late, but he should have been there sooner than he was.
And not only that, when he got there, they basically shoved him into a spot that they had vacant rather than gradually building him to it.
They kind of did build him to it.
Well, the fractions of a second before he was WCW champion, he was GI Bro. So
Yeah, but they kind of like before that they was kind of building him to being
yeah,
a bigger single star, and then the GI Bro
hmm
thing, I was like, okay, what?
yeah,
And then
yeah.
they kind of, I hope, realized that was stupid and realized that he's worth much more than this.
hmm
Yeah, and then
So GI Bro was one of Booker T's gimmick in WWA, and I watched a GI Bro gimmick, by the way. I mean promo. I'm like,
terrible?
what? Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no.
You could say it's terrible. It's fine.
Well, it wasn't. No. It wasn't terrible. But it was.
wasn't
It actually had traces of the Booker T
yeah.
in it.
Okay.
It wasn't horrible. He was just like Booker T as GI Bro rather than Booker T as Booker T.
Yeah.
And when they switched him back, as we say, they were helping build him as a single star, and he already had singles credibility.
Yeah.
Then they shoved him into Misfits in Action as GI Bro.
Yeah.
And they are Misfits in Action. Would you say they were a job squad, or there was a basically mid-card for life, right?
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
I think by association, Booker T knocked himself down a few notches.
Yeah. Even though he was like the main eventer in that bunch of like mid-carders.
Yeah.
Because like they did treat him all right as GI Bro, but it wasn't gonna be.
It's a step back from Booker T.
Yeah, he's not gonna be world champion as GI Bro, is he? You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah.
Which is why when all of a sudden he won the championship, WCW champion, I was like, okay.
I was happy. I was like,
well, no,
finally.
yeah, but that's not the thing. It was just like, but he was GI Bro about a month ago, or, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because we're skipping forward, right? Let's go back. Let's go way back. Let's go back. Actually, let's go back to when I told you.
Right.
A couple of weeks, like, so, oh yeah, let's do an episode of Booker T. And I was like, by the way, do you know the controversy of when Booker T first started? And you were like shocked.
Yeah.
So Booker T and Stevie Ray, who thought of this trash, right? Booker T and Stevie Ray were gonna be so they're two massive black guys.
Yeah.
And they were going to be led in chains.
Yep.
To the ring.
Yes.
Like they were prisoners or slaves, depending, right? And then this guy, Colonel Robert Parker, aka Tennessee Lee, but he looks like he's dressed like the Colonel from KFC.
Yeah, he's just like a Confederate's like plantation owner.
Yes. Yeah. And he leads them to the ring. And I just explained this to you. You were like, big horrible pause, right? Big dirty pregnant pause. And you're like, whoa. I'm like, yeah. You just can't believe. It's just like, did no one think of this before they're going on TV? Exactly what is being seen here?
Because like, this is not even like the 80s or the 70s where even then it's still super racist. But you know, people, I thought by like the time the 90s this happened that people knew better.
Yes.
You know, and no one questioned it.
All right, so let me break it into parts and then see if it's just the combination of everything or the sections of everything that are distasteful. Now, if Booker T and Steve Ray came out in chains with no manager, would that be weird?
No, because like when I was watching that video you sent me of Stevie Ray like explaining it, that seemed fine to me.
Yeah, so Stevie Ray was saying that they used to be they were prisoners, but they're shaking the shackles of their confined life to make a better life for themselves.
Yeah, because they was forcibly incarcerated. Yeah, and that stuff what you just said. So I was like, okay, no, that kind of makes sense to me. That could be seen as a positive sort of message. And then break down the other bits, and then we can see why it's.
So but if it was Booker T and Steve Ray being led out, no chains, no nothing, right? Booker T and Steve Ray just as a tag team being led out by Colonel Robert Parker, still in his Confederate stuff, right? Would that be off key, or would you be like, oh, they just happen to be a tag team being led by this guy, like it's their manager?
It's the white guy thing that makes it.
Yeah, the white guy in the chains, or just the white guy?
The white guy in the chains.
Yeah.
Like if there's a cool chain gang and he came out with them, I'd be like, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
It's not as bad.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's him leading them out on the chains, and it depends.
Yeah.
All right, even this is bad. If he's in front of him pulling the chains or behind him holding the chains, it's still bad. It's still bad.
But the thing is, I don't know if you remember the Bashams when the Bashams brothers used to come out.
Yeah.
Charmel was in the levers, and they were in the levers, and she was putting them by a chain.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
and they're white guys.
It wasn't Charmel. It was Shaniqua, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Not
Well,
Charmel.
it was
Still, yeah.
Yeah. So it was a black lady and two white guys in chains. Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone, it was like, okay, well, that's not as bad, first of all, because they're trying to make their gimmick like they like being dominated or something.
Yeah,
like that. Okay.
bondage crap. Yeah.
So that's depending on how you portray it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine. You get leeway, probably more leeway because their white's been led by
Yeah.
But yeah, now it's like, all right. I was trying to find, by the way, actual footage of the match because they did record the match with this with that. But I think what they're saying is they recorded it, and then after the recording, they watched it back and they realized,
Yeah, I think they're kind of glad that never got recorded.
Yeah. But I think Booker T was saying in the interview, I believe he was saying he's glad he never saw the day of light because people be just memeing it on YouTube and stuff like that.
Because it's terrible.
Yeah, it was like. Yeah, nuts. Lucky they managed to shake that off and but what would you say the gimmick of Harlem Heat was?
To be honest,
Yeah.
and I'm a huge Harlem Heat fan, I really don't know.
Well, you just say they were guys from the hood.
Yeah, basically.
Not the hood, not like the hood, but just like I'm gonna say the streets because that makes them sound like tramps. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The block? I don't know. I'm
Probably.
They're just two dudes wrestling from a specific area of town.
Yeah, basically, that's what they are.
Yeah.
Because like they didn't really develop it or anything, did they? Like it was just always tag team champions, which is awesome. But like you don't really didn't really develop what the actual characters are.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? Because later on, Booker T had a lot of character.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't. I think it's. I just remember because Sherry Martel was their manager.
Yeah.
And do you remember? The promo that I'm about to speak about?
Yeah. The promo that it's been memed to death at this point, but it's.
Yeah.
I do still find it funny every now and then.
You know what it is? It's because so Booker T says a promo. Luke Slugger and the Giant. What's it called? What's he say? When we're done with Lex Luger and the Giant, we're coming for gold. We're going for gold.
Yeah.
Hogan, we're coming for you.
But
N-word.
Yeah.
And I was like, but the thing is, if he just continued, if he just said it and just continued, right?
Yeah.
Then it probably would have been more fine, as in sold it. But he just realized what he said, and he was like, his face was like,
yeah. You could tell he felt bad for saying that.
Yeah. Do you know? I'm sure you watched it on the network, right? Where they replaced it because they said Lex Luger, when we've done Lex Luger and the Giant, we're coming for gold, sucker. Hogan, we're coming for you, sucker. I was like, all right.
Oh. No, I haven't seen that word,
They probably just changed it. They probably changed it back to the original now, but they had that at some point. And I was like, wait a minute, why didn't you just... the most logical thing is, why didn't you say, Hogan, we're coming for you, brother? Because, he talks to brother.
Yeah.
You could just, like, fill the mouth movements with relatively the same...
Yeah.
And then mock Hogan at the same time if you're dubbing it over.
Yeah,
it just would have been a bit more, not necessarily a bit more sense, but they had to cut they had to get rid of what they had to get rid of. So
that would have made more sense. You're saying that,
yeah. But that was I think when did you start taking notice of Booker T? Because I think when he was with Harlem Heat, I didn't really pay too much attention to him.
Like, I started watching WCW, I want to say, like, 96, 97, 98.
All right.
And this is when he was the television champion. That's when I started. That's when I first knew about Booker T. So
Yeah.
that's kind of
multi-time, by the way, television champion.
And that's what got me into Booker T. Him from that.
Some reigns, by the way, he had like a day long or something like that.
Yeah,
which was
like that. Or one he lost it and then won it back the same night. Something. I remember watching some. He lost it to Rick Martel and then won it back. It was stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they padded out. Not necessarily they padded out the rings, but they had live house shows that they traded the title and then traded the title back. So by the time it came back to TV, he still had the title, even though he'd lost it. And yeah, it was just weird. It's just weird though. The series he had, the best of 7, was really good.
Yeah, with who shall not be named.
Yeah,
Baltimore. Yeah,
redacted.
yeah. That's when I started to really like him because I remember watching it every week. Like, these matches are amazing.
Yeah, and I think they tried to replicate that magic in WWF, but
it was good. It wasn't as good.
Yeah. I think was that the one where? Am I mistaken? It because he had two best of. He had the best of 7, and then he had the best of 5. I think with Cena for the US title.
That sounds right. Yeah.
And he was injured in one of those, and Randy Orton had to replace him for 2 matches.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Was that the best of 7 one?
No, I think that was the best. I think that was the one. No, it wouldn't be the one with Cena because. Wait, it wouldn't because Cena was on. No, wait, because it wouldn't be Randy Orton because Randy Orton was on Raw at the time. It might have been with. I don't remember now.
Well, yeah. Let me put it this way. Why I'm bringing that up is I believe so when he had this best of 5 with Cena, and they were doing the video package for because there's the finals, the final match. Somehow John Cena beat Booker T with the AA.
Yeah.
In the video package, and Booker T was beating Cena with roll up pins and stuff like that, like fluke finishes. I'm like, you don't make Booker T look good if you're saying one guy can decisively win and the other guy can't.
Oh wait, it was Orton did replace. It was the
best of 7.
Yeah, with Benoit. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Karen.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, why? Yeah, I was like, even if he's cheating through the match, have your video package him hit his finish. Why does he have to be like roll up pins and sunset flips and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Especially if Cena wasn't winning it like that. Cena was like the relative rookie compared to Booker T at the time.
But you remember this? They were building Booker. They were building Cena to be
exactly. They were making deliberately one guy look bad at the expense of the other guy.
Yeah, but Booker T was a heel, so to me it didn't make him look bad.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I say to you, you say, "Oh yeah." Well, I was going to give you a counterpoint, but then I just realized where I was going. So when Booker T came to WWF as the WCW champion, and he lost his title to Kurt Angle, and then he needed a lot of help from Stone Cold to win it back from Kurt Angle. Didn't make Booker T look good, but like you said, he's the heel. So
yeah. And
I think at that point as well, the WWF mindset of we're superior to WCW is the problem because it just you deliberately make everyone else look bad, and then it's like, why are we going to buy into a competitive match? Yeah, you can trash talk them on your show because that's like you. But when you have control of them and you are trying to make money off it, you can say, oh yeah, we underestimate these people or something like that. No, we're just gonna maul them to pieces. Yeah, we're gonna throw away money. And like, oh, okay, I mean, Vince, it's your company. You do what you want.
Yeah, but don't be stupid.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was saying don't be stupid. That's what I was saying. Like Vince and that.
Yeah. Going back to when I first took notice of Booker T was when he was having matches with Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yeah.
For the US title. I mean, actually, I'm not sure if it's the US title at this point or the TV title. Though it's strange to me that Bret Hart was going for the TV title.
Yeah, that's a thing for another day. But yeah.
Well, no, I mean the US title, yes, I can't because he's Canadian, wants to be the US champion, fine, whatever. And Hogan the world title, fine. But the TV title would have been like, okay. Anyways, and and Bret Hart was having trouble with Booker T, and then we got like the bit with like the match he had with Stone Cold. Booker T tried to bring him back in the ring. Bret grabbed the bell and hit Booker T with it.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And then so I was like, okay. So in my mind, I was like, all right, Bret's having trouble beating this guy. And he's and Booker T was the face, and Bret was the heel. I was like, okay, so this guy must have some credibility.
Yeah.
You know? I have to say, Bret did, I think, help a lot of people in WCW be more credible, even though he doesn't look fondly back on. But I guess that's also part of how they were sabotaging him as well.
Yeah.
Like, oh, go have a competitive match with so and so who's like mid card, but Bret will still do his job, you know. But yeah, I was like, okay, but I feel like Booker T could have been elevated a bit more. With like, you know, when you the War Games matches and stuff like that, all those tag team matches, which you could help a younger talent
like
pull up.
They like me personally, even if before we like move on to like when he won the like US title and that stuff, like they should have sort of inserted him more into like the main storylines in WCW at the time rather than just
That's the thing, isn't it? Because
corner of the world sort of thing.
You had NWO White, you had NWO Red. Not that Booker T needs to join either of those, okay? And then you had WCW.
Yeah. So
why couldn't he have been one of the top, the upper tier members of Team WCW?
Yeah, trying to take out
Team WCW. Who did you have in Team WCW? Goldberg, DDP.
Yeah. Luger. Actually, no, Luger was Wolfpack by this point.
Yeah.
I think that's just, you got Piper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flair.
Yeah. Oh, the Four Horsemen, but kind of. Yeah. I mean, look. Yeah, but Booker T could have been one of them guys to help. Like, first of all, he could elevate himself as well as being. If you're tying up other people with other stuff.
Yeah.
You know, he could have been someone there to actually help. What's it called? Progress the company. No. Oh, I was going to say progress the company, but you know, you just make people new main event stars.
Yeah. But no, this is dub.
Yeah, exactly. Where quote unquote the big boys play, but look at the adjective. If you don't know, if you remember that one.
The adjective. That's not how adjectives work, but okay, sure, man.
Exactly.
But like,
but
they kind of had a built-in story with him in this anyway, like the NWO stuff. Because when Stevie Ray joined NWO, like there was your sort of way you could have inserted Booker T into this whole thing, but no, you just didn't. You know? Cool.
Yeah, I guess, exactly. That which was weird because, like, all right, but I think that by that point, NWO Black and White was a bunch of jabronis.
Yeah. That's when Steve Ray became like the leader of NWO B team.
Yeah,
not even NWO, the B team part.
Yeah. And but that consisted of. Do you remember what NWO Black and White consisted of? But Stevie Ray,
Vincent, Scott Norton, another person who shouldn't have been in there. Scott Norton's awesome. Brian Adams.
Yeah, they were definitely called the NWO B team at that point.
And some other jabronis, I don't know. Not this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah. But I okay. Let me ask you.
Yeah.
What was Booker T's finisher?
What then?
Well, overall, like, okay, yes, back then, because I was going to say overall, but the Bookend was his finish later on, and later he definitively have one,
when he became like, I want to say heavyweight, but he was always heavyweight, but you know what I mean? Yeah. So then it was either the Harlem missile drop kick, which is just a missile drop kick of top rope, or there was the Harlem hangover for a while, but he stopped doing that, which is
that was great, by the way.
Yeah. And then
you were about to describe what it was though before I disturbed you.
Sorry. It was like a front flip into a leg drop.
Yeah. from the top turnbuckles, 360 leg drop.
Yeah. And then wasn't the axe kick, was it?
Well, that's the thing. That's the strange thing. In the games, his finisher was the axe kick.
Yeah. But
Well, special move, you know, it is.
Yeah, but he didn't really start using that more as a finisher till he was in like WWE, where he was either using that or the bookend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was strange because I was like,
actually,
what?
At one point, his finisher was the 110th Street spine buster. I remember that. Yeah, it was a spine buster.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That was during his like TV title run. Yeah.
Would you say that was a signature that occasionally finished people, or a legit finisher?
I'll say signature that occasionally beat people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think mainly at that time, I think the missile dropkick was his finish.
Yeah.
But when you're watching it earlier and you're like, wait a minute, it's a bit odd because if he was a submission guy, fair enough. You could have all these different. You could do all these different stuff, and you'd have a definitive 3 count finish.
Yeah.
But but I think he should have just probably stuck with the axe kick, by the way, as a finish.
During then, yeah.
Especially since when he started using the bookend,
Mm.
it was a rock bottom, except you land on your knee. The person who's giving it lands on their knees.
Which me, I prefer it to the rock bottom. I prefer the bookend to the rock bottom. I love it.
Well, I'll say you that, right? Depends on how you like to take the move when you're giving it. Because if you're landing on your knees multiple times,
yeah,
you know, you're probably better off taking a front bump. Depending, of course, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're a big guy like the Big Show and stuff like that, and Nash and Undertaker, and you need to start getting knackered because you're so big.
Yeah.
Even Great Khali, right? Not that Great Khali, but you notice how Omos and people just doing standing choke slams.
Yeah.
Giant used to do the choke slam where he went down on his knees, and I was like, oof.
That was awesome. But after a while, just no.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Just do a standing choke slam or something like that.
Yeah.
Or you could do a front bump, but I don't think that was. Anyways, back to the Booker Man himself. Yeah, like we were saying, when he transitioned to single star, look, he had credibility though, right? He was the guy to beat, and they did. He was. Now, I don't think he won the US title until the final WCW. Thingamajig broadcast.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
But he would have been I think he got to. He was like mid card, definitely mid card.
Yeah.
With the occasional upper mid card. Yeah, that's where he was at WCW around this time ish.
Yeah.
And then he got
a good team player at this time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they had the weird bit where he joined back with Stevie Ray to form Harlem Heat, and then he brought in Midnight to be their muscle, which is weird when you say it out loud. But yeah, and Stevie Ray didn't like that, so then he turned on Booker and started Harlem Heat Inc. with.
Wait, Harlem Heat Inc. or Harlem Heat 2000? Or am I
it was Harlem Heat Inc. But when they fought as a tag team, they were Harlem Heat 2000.
Oh, all right. Because this is because Stevie Ray trademarked the term Harlem Heat.
Yeah. So that's why, And then he joined up with Ahmed Johnson, who was going by Big T at this point. Big
Papa T, right?
Yeah. And then Booker T lost the match, so he couldn't use the name. He couldn't use the T part of his name, so he just became Booker, which was really weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were going here. And I was like, I don't understand. Okay. First of all, why, right? And it's not like, for example, I'm so petty. I'm going to make your life miserable for the sake of you're not allowed to be called when you are called because I own the rights to it. No. Right? Not pity scumbag or anything like that. It's just like it just came across as you know what? I ain't got nothing else to feud over.
Yeah,
I want to feud over that initial in your name.
Yeah. Be fair, that's like petty brother stuff, though. If you think about it.
Well, yeah, no, but that's not how
it works to me.
Not that's not how it came across to me on TV. It's just like, yeah, we want to call it, yeah.
Yeah, to me back then I thought it was stupid, but think about it now and being a brother, that's something petty I would do to my brother. You know what I mean?
If your brother was beefing on you,
yeah, but like, you know what, I'm gonna do that, and so it kind of makes sense now, like 20 years later. But
what did you think, by the way, of Stevie Ray?
He was all right.
Yeah, I think it's strange when you like. Okay, I know of Booker T, but Stevie Ray just wasn't at Booker's level.
Yeah.
In most stats, in the most relevant ones as well.
Yeah, because like to me, Booker T is kind of like the whole. When it comes to wrestler, he's like the whole package, really.
Yeah,
like
he could do a lot of things.
Yeah,
and I think that Harlem Hangover did help him get over, well, not get over, but stay over.
Yeah,
he just bust out on occasion.
Yeah, and like Stevie Ray looked the part, but he wasn't the part of that. Like he didn't have the same aura and energy as Booker T did.
Yeah.
He
just seemed like a clone version of Booker T with lower stats.
I wouldn't say that. He just seems like, even though it's the other way around, he seems like younger brother who's only wrestling because older brother is wrestling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though it's the other way around, but
yeah, I think he didn't have the. He didn't have the charisma of Booker T, and he didn't embrace the silliness that Booker could do.
Yeah,
would allow himself to do if
yeah. Because like Booker could be taken seriously, or he could be funny. Yeah. With Stevie Ray, he only had serious.
Yeah.
Which
and in the world of wrestling, the world of professional wrestling, you have to kind of you have to take yourself seriously, but not too seriously, where you can't do comedy moments and stuff like that. I think that's why that's what kept Stevie Ray below Booker T. That degree. You're speaking of actually, I can't remember at what point this is. I think it was Booker's starting the main event run or something like that. But no! Did they arrest him in Harlem Heat? Did he get arrested for something?
I can't remember.
Okay, well, I know
that sounds familiar though. That does sound familiar.
Yeah. So in obviously not talking about. Okay, he got arrested in real life, but that's a different thing.
Story,
He's in jail in for some reason I can't remember what it was. I just remember the promo because when he says he had to clear his name, right? This with his and he had an attorney with him or something. And so the lines that he said was, "I was literally fighting for my ass in jail." And I was like, "All right." I mean, are you telling me the prisoners in jail were accosting you? Is that why it's literally?
Yeah, this is edgy Russo writing at the time. Yeah.
But that's the thing. It sounds like something Booker T would say. Yeah, I don't think they meant it to be like that.
No. It's probably like him using terminology used in real life, but it just
it made me laugh. I was like, Booker T, you're the man.
The best.
Yeah,
love him.
But I think I didn't mind that I minded when Booker T won the title at the time he was winning it. Right, if he didn't have the G.I. Bro gimmick.
Which
I think I would. It would have went smoother with me across that.
Yeah. But I don't like it. That need that to happen for this for him for that bit to happen. If that makes sense. Yeah.
But I think what it was because it was Russo and Hogan having beef in real life. That then they got Jeff Jarrett to come out. Jeff Jarrett lay down on the floor for Hogan to win the title because Hogan's playing his creative control card. Then Hogan dares have the nerve to say, what's going on, Russo? Is stuff like this is why this company is in the shape it is.
Yeah.
Like, no, Hogan, you refusing to lose is probably, and then making bank on everything.
Yeah.
Probably didn't help. But anyways, so then Russo come out later on. I think was it what event was it? Slamboree, was it?
Yeah, it was. Wait. Let me just quickly check that.
Okay. Well, anyways, Russo comes out in that pay per view a bit later on and goes, "Yeah, forget what you just saw. Jeff Jarrett's still champion. Booker T could be new number one contender. Here we go."
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, my neck will break from the whiplash that just happened.
Yeah. That
then
old piece of ain't coming back.
Yeah. And then Booker T bookended Jarrett through a table later, like during the match, and won.
Yeah.
WCW title. Now, first of all, Jeff Jarrett was having his own credibility issues.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah.
Not to say, obviously, not that he was a bad champion or something like that, but he was one of the titles kept on changing across when he was holding it as well. So he wasn't exactly the guy either.
No.
Like, he was getting treated like the Miz.
Yeah.
Essentially. So he's getting worse than he treated worse than he should have.
Yeah.
But yeah, then Booker T wanted off him and it's like, yeah, okay, Booker, fine, but you're now in this situation where you probably need to work a little bit. You have to kind of work extra hard to maintain credibility, or to rebring credibility back to the title.
Yeah.
Or cement yourself as a world title contender, whatever it is.
Yeah. To be fair, the last a year and a half of WCW, whoever held the title, they had no chance. In all fairness,
Yeah,
because of the way they look and stuff.
Especially when. So there was a cage match.
Oh gosh.
There was a cage match. Who did it have in it? It had Booker T, Jeff Jarrett, I believe, Kevin Nash, Goldberg, and Vince Russo himself.
Was it triple threat? Was it that? I thought it was just. For some reason, I keep thinking it was just.
Oh no! Goldberg went. No, was Goldberg in it?
No. He come at the end.
Yeah.
For some reason, I just thought it was a match between, Booker T and Vince Russo. But I could be wrong.
Oh no, sorry. The WCW stuff with Hogan and whatnot was at Bash at the Beach 2000.
Okay, yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
Cage match.
Because I think it might have been a Nitro.
Was it Full Brawl? Was the cage match a Full Brawl? 2000? No, that wasn't it. I think it was on a Nitro, yeah?
I think it was on Nitro, yeah.
Who did you say was in it?
I think it was just...
I know who I said was in it, but you're saying that wasn't quite right. So who
think
you
it was just Booker T versus Russo.
I think it was... was it?
I think so. Because I know the week before, like, he lost the title to Nash.
Yeah.
Then won it back, like, a few weeks later in a cage match against Nash.
Yeah.
But then, this is what Wikipedia telling me, but then lost the title again, this time to Vince Russo himself in a cage match where he was speared by Goldberg. Yeah, I think it was just on a night.
I'm sure Nash was in there. I feel like it was definitely more than just Vince Russo in there. But in either case, right?
Yeah.
And you say Goldberg, and I think Goldberg was in it because he speared Vince Russo.
He come in to do that because he was wearing street clothes when he did this.
Yeah, I can't recall everything because it was.
I remember it
like,
ending like like it's happening right now.
Yeah. So Booker T starts to step out of the cage, and Vince Russo gets speared out of the cage.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing, right? Vince Russo then suddenly wins the cage match because his feet touched the floor first. But I'm like, wait a minute. If you're on the cage and some guy's touching the floor on the ground, not only that, if Goldberg's spearing you, his feet must have touched the floor at some point because you're on the cage door. You're on the cage wall.
Yeah, but that's
so how's that work?
I don't think that's why I'm pretty sure Goldberg won a part in the match.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Vince Russo would give up the title. It's like, wait a minute, no. If anything, Booker T stepping out of that time means that it should be a draw. You can't just have the title because you're one of the two people that went out of the cage at the same time. Yeah. Yeah. But then I say whatever, right?
Yeah.
Vince Russo wanted the title so bad he wrote himself to have the title. Okay, if you say so.
Yeah, because in his mind, what he said, the title was just a prop, bro. So,
Yeah. Well, then, yeah. Why did you want the prop then, Vince?
For controversy, controversy
Yeah.
gains cash as Eric
Eric
Bischoff
Bischoff
does.
says. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. I don't get the logic of it. If anything, maybe he could have been a co-holder of the title with Booker T, because they were. But if you're going to dispute that you won, and the other guy can dispute that he won, then you can say, okay, I tell you what, being a heel, right? If that's the case, I'll make myself champion as well. We're both champion.
You just do you got vacated because there's no distinct winner. Vacation.
Yeah, or something like that, right? Don't make himself the champion first and then vacate it, because that just makes no sense.
They were copying the whole Vince McMahon thing, though, innit? Because remember, Vince beat Triple H to be champion, which made
Oh yeah,
sense.
yeah. So that made sense in the context of what was happening there. Triple H was beating up Vince, and then Stone Cold came out and beat up Triple H and got Vince to pin Triple H.
Yeah.
That, yes, because it's your lead face.
Yeah.
Coming up to beat your lead heel, and putting the owner, like the person who's getting beat up, on top of him just to spite.
Yeah, which makes sense. Storyline wise, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. But this didn't.
No.
This smacked of, oh yeah, I want to have the title because I can have the title.
Yep. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Ego stroke. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. So, but Booker T winning the United States title, I think in the last final months of WCW, and then beat Scott Steiner in the last WCW to win the WCW title.
Yeah.
So he was a 4-time WCW champion and a US champion by the time that episode of Nitro finished.
Yeah. Which was because he beat Rick Steiner for it.
Yeah.
And then they had the unification. I'd not say unification match, but you know what I mean. The final match of Nitro for the world title. Well, it wasn't the final match. I think the final match was Sting versus Flair. But anyway,
yeah. But yeah, no. I liked, by the way, the Booker T and Steiner feuds.
Yeah, it was dope.
Yeah, only because they seem to be at the relative level of each other. And Steiner was nuts.
Yeah, because to me, this was their version of the Rock Triple H feud.
Yeah,
which in my opinion is a better feud rather than Stone Cold and Rock. It's a Triple H Rock, but
Well, the thing is with this, right? The characters are different because Booker T's like the hard-working man. I don't want to say the average guy, but yeah. Scott Steiner's over the top.
Nutcase.
Yeah, exactly. So they kind of was like, yeah, I have to face this guy down. He's a massive beast, right? Well, you know, the Booker T's big as well, but just like, you know what, Steiner's out of control. And it just came across like, yeah, they were elevating each other to a certain degree.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, they seem to be good friends outside of the ring, only because later on in TNA they teamed together as Harlem Pump. But also, I don't know if you ever watched it, but there was an episode of Charmed.
Oh yeah, and they both were in that as well, weren't it?
Yeah. And then what makes me laugh is, so the Charmed ones were fighting in a ring, a wrestling ring that was in hell.
Makes sense.
And Booker T and Scott Steiner were the opponents. Harlem Pump, 20 years before Harlem Pump, right?
I won't say 20 years, about 10 years.
Okay.
But yeah. That's mad.
And then what was when they got beat by the Charmed ones, the pool opened to send them back into hell. And what was so dumb is, rather than you'd think, okay, they're supposed to be falling downwards or something like that, okay? What they basically were filming was them lying on a green screen, flailing on their backs, flailing their arms and legs in the air. They're like, what?
That seems like some cheap Mortal Kombat stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm not even talking about the films, I'm talking about the games.
Yeah. Oh, it was terrible. I was like, oh, what is going on? But good on you boys for getting a payday for that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, getting exposure. You know. Yeah. You do use.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. So what did you think when Booker T came to WWF?
I was happy because I thought he might be one of the people who contract didn't get taken over, and he was gonna just go to either the Indies or just never seen again, like a lot of the WCW people.
Yeah.
So,
But even as you'd think, being WCW champion, they would definitely bring him over.
Yeah. It was kind of smart of him to go over as well. So
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think when he got over, when he went it across, he should have been positioned at a higher level than they positioned him at.
Yeah.
Because it's the WCW champion, right?
Yeah.
So let him beat some of your upper mid carders. Make that WCW title look like something. Except, but what they decided to do was actually we'll have him lose to Kurt Angle, and then win it back, and then lose to The Rock. Fair enough. By the way, on some of the, you got megastars there, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. You don't want to make them like you're trying to protect them. At the same time, it's just like you shouldn't make the guy who's supposed to be the top of that opposing company look bad. I just remember how it was the Invasion 10-man match, and Booker T got the ankle lock slapped on him, and he was just tapping the floor as though you're batting bushing. He was just button bashing, tapping, and I was like, wow, all right. And then Stone Cold stunned Kurt Angle. And I was like, what? Okay, I mean. You couldn't have him just kind of try to get to the ropes or nothing like that. No, just tap. All right, okay, don't make him look great, but whatever.
Well, like it's gonna sound really bad, but I feel like if he just came in,
yeah,
this is what I kind of feel with all wrestling companies when someone goes from one company to another and it automatically inserted into like a main event thing. Yeah, I personally think it's not fair.
No.
Yeah, so you kind of have to sort of work your way to being where you should be.
I think it's one of those. It depends on what is going on at the time. If you're making a company versus company feud, you do have to portray the other company as competent.
Yeah.
And if that means sacrificing some of your upper mid carders, on occasion you're just gonna have to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when they do the Forbidden Door, they Tanahashi lost to Moxley, and no one's throwing a fit about that.
Yeah, but he's ready. I think that wasn't the first time they fought either, so it was nothing really fair. But plus Tanahashi,
he can take the losses, right?
Yeah, he can.
Yeah. But yeah, I just feel like by the time The Rock was in the picture, it was like, oh no, Book. That
was a foregone conclusion that he was.
Yeah, we know what's going on here.
Yeah.
And it didn't help, by the way, that they had so they had Booker T versus Rock, and Book lost. Okay, fair enough. Then you had the rematch where it was Booker T and Shane McMahon versus The Rock.
Yeah, that one.
And they still lost.
Yeah, but at least Shane took the pin.
Yeah. But yeah, in that match, you could argue Shane was trying to win the belt for himself also. But still, there was, I think there was ways to do it where you can lose and still get over. But that's not what happened to Booker T.
No. But
I don't even know if that's what they wanted to happen to Booker T, but also, that didn't help either. But, hey. I feel like this is, by the way, by the time Booker T got to here, I'm watching them like Booker T is trying. He's not like being big headed or nothing like that. He's doing what he's told to do as far as storyline is concerned and stuff like that. And he's being a company man because he don't want to step on any toes, right?
Yeah.
And he's having good matches, but he's not being put at the level of credibility in which he should have been.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I say about that at that point.
But like, I would also say, like, even when the invasion was over and stuff like that, they did treat him good because, like, he was always when he was like on Raw before he got drafted to SmackDown and all that.
Yeah.
He was always in like high profile things, like he was tag team champions, like I think a couple of times with Goldust and then with RVD.
Yeah.
I think he was even Intercontinental champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He feuded with Christian over the Intercontinental champion.
Yeah. And I remember his feud with Edge, but I think this might be during the Invasion.
Yeah.
Over who was going to get...
No. This was just after the Invasion.
Oh, it was just after. Oh, this is before they did the draft and stuff, didn't they? The brand split.
Yeah. And I know where you were going with it. That's why I interrupted you, but go on.
Where they beef was over who was going to get the role in a Japanese shampoo commercial.
Yeah.
And he lost it.
And being the mark that I was at the time, I actually went on the internet to look for that Japanese commercial. It doesn't exist.
Yeah,
just like the tournament in
Brazil,
South America for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
And personally, I mean, look, they could have had Booker T beat Edge.
Yeah,
but I guess well, yeah. I say that not in the by the way, not saying okay, Booker T needs to be pushed to the top of whatever, but it's like Edge could take the loss at that time.
I don't know. I think they're still trying to build Edge to be
exactly. That's what I'm saying. He could have taken the loss, but then at the position they leveled Booker T at, they were relative to each other as well.
Yeah. I'll say they're both like solid upper mid card guys at that point.
Yeah.
Even though it was kind of a backwards thing not for Edge, for Booker T, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, he was being used to get other talent over, which kind of you're like, yeah, but I do say, do you reckon the only reason that he won, like, so he was a 4-time WCW champion when we went there, okay? Yeah. Do you reckon the only reason he won that lost and won that 5th WCW title was so he could do the spinneroonie and stare into his own hand because he's five time?
Maybe.
Because do you reckon their logic was it doesn't make sense why he's staring into his hand and put it like the doing the spinneroo looking at his 5 time. Whereas if he was 5-time WCW champion, yeah, it doesn't make sense because then they do 4 fingers, right? No, I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there. What did you think, by the way? Because it seemed to me the feud. And you say that the Booker T and Edge feud was about the shampoo commercial.
Yeah.
It seemed to me the Booker T and Rock feud was all about who had the most electrifying move in sports entertainment.
Yeah.
Which was the people's elbow versus the spinneroonie. I'm like, well, one of them's a glorified elbow drop.
Yeah, and one of them is just a breakdance in transition move.
yeah. It's like, and you say the spinneroonie doesn't even actually hit anyone. So It's not as if he does a spinneroonie and then at the tip of it he does a leg drop.
Yeah.
That would have been okay, fair enough. But it was that
would have made sense.
I think there's a couple of times, right, where the spinneroonie has been the fault of Booker T's losses. Because I know you had there was a match with The Rock involved somewhere. I don't know if it specifically was a one-on-one match, but he does the spinneroonie. He pumps up because the crowd.
Yeah.
Like in the final spin, and basically just gets rock bottom for it.
Yeah.
And then there was the one where he did the spinneroonie in the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
And he got stunned out of the ring.
You know what's funny about that?
Yeah, that was jokes though. Even though I was like, oh, that's kind of, I expected Booker T to be in the ring longer, whatever, right? Yeah. He had this flowy and then he got stunned out of the ring. Stunned out of the ring jokes, yeah? And he played it like it was yeah, right? Because it's just like, it's ludicrous. I'm just going to go for it, yeah? Okay.
But like, you know what's funny about the whole Booker T and Rock feuding over the most electrifying move in sports entertainment?
Yeah.
They both have a move that is literally, technically the same move.
Yeah.
You could have feuded over that.
Yes,
like the Bookend and the rock bottom. They're literally even named similar. You know what I mean? Like, it's two references.
I also remember, by the way, during that feud where Shane McMahon helped Booker T gain the advantage at some point during a brawl.
Yeah.
And then Booker T bookended, even though the commentary team was saying Booker T bombed the Rock.
Yeah.
Booker T bookended the Rock through tables. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it didn't help that the commentary team kept on just saying the other thing. Anyways, Then next week on Raw or SmackDown, whatever, the next show,
Yeah.
Shane McMahon came to Booker T and said, yes, I made these for you. Bookend from the table.
Yeah, I
that you
remember that.
bookended the like, all right, okay, if you
I
say
remember
so.
that. That was hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, but the Booker man. Any other notable things, like notable feuds? Because I know we were
During
gonna
this time
say
or a bit later on?
no, like later on as well.
Okay.
Because we're jumping back and forth across.
Oh yeah, because I thought I was.
Oh.
To go on to.
No, you go on. You go on first. You say what you're saying.
I was I thought it was starting to move on towards like the brand split and when he was on Raw and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then leading up to him versus someone at WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, no. Just before we get into that, there's a feud that you missed in between that. Okay.
What feud is that?
Where he had his Booker T prevented Stone Cold from winning the unified titles.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it was Booker T had a feud with Steve Austin, which did not help Booker T whatsoever.
I think it did.
Okay. Go on. You tell me. Do you want me to go my side first, or do you want me to say your side first?
Go on.
Okay. So they had entertainment skits, like brawling through supermarket, brawling through church, like whatever, right?
Yeah.
Bingo hall, stuff like that. But because Booker T could never gain any advantage through any of this stuff, and he kept on running away from Stone Cold, it was like, right, Booker T, your secondary priority to us. We know who the most famous star in our company is, which is fair enough. But just like he threw flour in his face and put him in a shopping trolley, and then rammed him into the beer bottles and stuff like that. And like, yeah, okay. I mean, Booker T looking like a bit of a clown to me, but yeah.
Like, I feel like this made people more endeared to the Booker T character in WWF.
Actually, I can see it from that perspective as well, but it's just more like it's different if Austin was the heel bullying Booker T, who was the face.
Yeah, but then subconsciously, people are going to think that's racist.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. All right. Fair enough. I didn't. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I didn't think of that. No. Wait. I said I didn't think of that point, but later on when we get to the thing that they full face this stuff. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Let me tell you the one skit that they did where Booker T ran from Austin. Yeah. He went into a church area, and then so he was like, "All right, how am I going to hide here?" Yeah, and he sees a statue of Jesus or something like that. So he puts on the vicar's whatever dressing, whatever it is, and he stands like with his 5-time WCW champion pose.
Yeah.
Pretend to be a statue. And then he's like, nah, this ain't gonna work. So he goes into the confessional booth.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay. So then then this lady walks in the confessional booth. And she's talking to Booker T. She's talking to Father, forgive me. And like, whoa, my child, what have you done? And she goes, I've cheated on my spouse. There was 2 men involved, and there was a videotape and stuff like that. And Booker T is like, my child, what you must do several Hail Marys, and you must send me the videotape. You must send me. And she's like, what? She goes, yes, my child, send me the videotape. I have to exercise it for the good of your soul.
Yeah.
I need to bless the tape and whatnot. And I was like, all right, okay, Booker, I get the jokes here. But and then later on, he's doing some other confessions. Some guy is like basically saying, I'm too fat, I ate too much, and Booker T's like, just shove off and whatever like that. Yeah. And I think he's resting at this point or something like that. He's hidden away, so he's napping now. And then you hear Stone Cold's voice, and Booker T's eyes just shoot up.
Yeah. And
he goes, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I'm gonna whoop the ass of a what's it called? Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing which the person in the confessional booth next to me, and then the Booker T runs.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, well, yeah. But hey, look, it allowed Booker T to show more charisma and personality outside of outside the ring. Because to be fair, Booker T does have a lot of physical charisma inside the ring.
Yeah.
He's raised the roof taunt and stuff like that.
Yeah, raise the roof.
He actually had quite a bit of different taunts.
Yeah.
That you do need to rile the crowd up to help pump.
Yeah. That's why he.
But yeah, moving on to the Evolution.
Yep. So this is after the brand split where because they realized they got too much of a roster after acquiring WCW wrestlers.
Yep.
They split the two brands into two. So you had Raw, that at the time I think was run by. Well, at the beginning it was run by Ric Flair and then Bischoff.
Yeah.
And then you had SmackDown run by Vince McMahon and then later on Stephanie a couple months later. And at this time they made there was one champion, undisputed champion, but then Stephanie convinced Brock to go to SmackDown, so he was their prime champion. And because they had no champion on Raw, they reintroduced the WCW World Heavyweight title as the World Heavyweight title, and the first champion they gave it to was Triple H.
Now, there were a couple of reasons. Now, they gave reasoning, but throughout that time, RVD was merging the titles together that were on Raw. Like the Hardcore title, the European title, and the Intercontinental title. And you're like, alright, so we made a new heavyweight title out of the merged titles. Nah. Bischoff, just give me the title. I'm Triple H. Alright.
To be fair, how they kind of did it. Triple H was meant to be the number one contender, but then because Brock went to SmackDown, and technically he's...
Yeah, I think also they were saying, because the last time there was a WCW, there was a World Heavyweight Champion, it was Triple H.
Was it?
Well, yeah, because Jericho had the two titles. The WCW title, which was the World WCW title was called the World Heavyweight title, so it never was actually the WCW title.
No.
Triple H had it, and then he turned it into the Undisputed title. So,
but
the lineage is unless you're gonna retroactively say, I don't think they counted it as a new title reign. But if they said, okay, well, the last time there was a World Heavyweight Champion, it was Triple H. This is a continuation of that run, even though they'd lost it to Hogan by that point, and then other things. But yeah, I suppose you could argue the case, but it just seemed like they handed it to him because
they handed it because of
it's a heel and Triple H is the heel.
Yeah, heel heat. I was like, to me, I was like, that makes you instantly hate Triple H even more. So makes sense to do it. Yeah.
Just because Triple H are trying to hug the title a bit more, just didn't necessarily help the case. But then, like you're saying, it makes sense storyline wise, makes sense heat wise as well.
Yeah. Instant heat. Yeah.
But you're going to where you're going to.
Yeah. So fast forward a couple of months where during this time, Booker T has become tag team champion with both RVD. I don't know. Wait, I think RVD might be later with Goldust anyway, and they're feuding with Evolution. Yeah, and then Booker T, I think he wins a number one contender shot.
Yeah. So this is where The Rock was feuding with the Hurricane.
Yeah.
And The Rock threw Hurricane out of the Battle Royal. And then Booker T threw Rock out of that, as the last person out of the Battle Royal there.
Yeah.
And so that's how Booker T won the number one contendership.
Yeah.
For the World Heavyweight title.
Yep. At WrestleMania. Yeah.
19.
Yeah. And me personally, the build to this match was great and everything.
Yeah.
Even with the weird, racist bit. Well, I wouldn't say blatantly racist, but the bits where it's like, oh, that could be quite racist. And, how they built Booker T, coming through controversy from, being arrested to being what he is now. Okay, cool. This is a pretty cool, feel-good story. If he wins
the title.
Yeah, if he wins. And, He doesn't win it.
Yeah.
The match was good except for the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go to that, and then we'll just go backtrack a little bit. Just want to point out a couple of things. Not going to say word for word what Triple H said, but
there's like your people didn't deserve this.
Yeah,
which can be taken in many ways.
Yeah, and there was multiple different ways where they tried to justify it. We know where they were trying to go.
Yeah,
and where they were implying, but what they were saying was, oh no, because he was a criminal who got arrested. He's scumbag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He robbed people, and he robbed the place where the place where he worked. So you could call him a dumbass as well.
Yeah.
But then you can be like your people from WCW, the organization which had David Arquette and Vince Russo as champions.
Yeah.
So your people still, yeah.
Yeah.
But we kind of knew when you say like you nappy head people are entertain me. You know.
Yeah, that's when you're like ooh.
Dance for me. It's like, well, hold on a minute. I mean. These are the same set of circumstances where capoeira was invented because they had to be a dance master. Yeah. So if you say dance for me, I mean you made them dance. Oh my goodness, Triple H.
Yeah, you're like.
Yeah. It's just like, by the way, I'm gonna point this out to you, but you probably really know it already. But it's the bits like this where you're like, all right, they're trying to subtly imply something.
Yeah.
But it's not so subtle.
Yeah.
So when you were watching X-Men First Class.
Yeah.
And you had that dude Darwin.
Yeah.
And when you had Kevin Bacon come in there, Sebastian Shaw, when he came to the CIA, yeah. And he's like, so what's look at us mutants, yeah? I'm trying to get you guys to join us.
Yeah.
Right, and it's flashing to as he's talking.
Yeah.
The scene switching to the X-Men team members that are there. So one of them, Darwin, one's Havoc, one's Mystique.
Yeah.
Beast is there. Also the civilian versions, by the way.
Yeah.
And then he's like, so what the humans look? They look down upon us. They'll what's it called? Arrest us. They'll enslave us. And then when he says enslave us, they switch to the one black guy on the team, and you're like, right, okay,
yeah.
And then the thing is, I get where they were going, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, I think too many people took note. It wasn't subtle. It was subtle, but it was too coincidental for them to say it wasn't, because you can edit the scene many different ways.
Yeah.
In the film,
and I was like, that makes it kind of worse. That sure, technically, he's a Nazi, isn't he?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Yes, he was. So it's just like, ow, you know.
Yep.
But like I get the implication. I just could
have been handled a lot better, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just like this is like this way. It's like you people, and it's like, what do you mean you people?
Yeah, he could have said, that's when he could have said like criminal or something from WCW, but the whole nappy hair reference and stuff, you're like, yeah, that's a bit,
I see something about. Oh no, this is the one. What? So Ron Simmons, when he won the world title,
yeah,
and I think Lex Luger was like to him, here's a couple of bucks. You can be my limo driver for the day, or something like that.
Ooh,
yeah, and I was like, whoa,
yeah.
Hold on a second. Yeah, I mean, jeez.
Calm down, mate. Wow, that's a
bit... yeah. Yeah.
So
So you think about the finish? Go on.
Yeah, the match was good. The finish is what kind of was the most dumbest thing ever. All right.
Yeah.
So if I remember, he goes for a bookend, a reversal, then he gets kicked by Triple H pedigree. And
no. You. Oh no, you go to the end, and I'll correct your little bit.
Oh, yeah, cool. So he pedigrees him, and they're both down for like 19 seconds. And he crawls over and pins him and gets the free. You would think after that he would get the kick out, but no.
Yeah,
he pinned him for the free.
Yeah, I think Booker T would have got a great pop if he kicked out of a pedigree. Like, not kicked out of it right away, but even during that time of rest period. But then Triple H just pick him up and pedigree him again. Yeah, that would have been that.
Nail in the coffin.
Yeah. Just like took two pedigrees. Fair enough.
Yeah.
The other thing was Triple H. the logic of the storyline of the match made sense, by the way.
Yeah.
Because he was working on Booker T's leg through the entire match. So when Booker T reversed something and he tried to do an axe kick, his leg gave out on him.
Yeah.
And then Triple H picked him up and agreed them. But I will apply some bit more logic to it.
Yeah.
Even though this clearly was not the plan. But so he did a Houston hangover on Triple H, and I think his thigh actually caught Triple H in the face.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't actually in the right position. However, if you want to work the logic,
yeah,
Booker T also hurt his knee there.
Yeah.
And then Triple H worked on it.
Yeah.
Even though that wasn't, what was set out.
No.
But yeah, I was like, okay. And yeah, Booker T lost, and it's like, the promo, by the way, the promo they played, the promotional video they played before this made Booker T look so good.
Yes, I'm saying that's why, like, if he won, they'd be like, oh wow, this is.
Yeah, because obviously you had Triple H talking him trash about him, but you had Booker T open the video saying, "Oh, this is like this is my life, blah blah blah. This is the Wendy's where that my life took a bad turn."
Yeah.
But then I helped. I became a better man for it and stuff like that. And then he's like, and at the end of the promo where Triple H, Triple H trying to convince Triple H there's only one diamond in this business and it's you.
Yeah.
And then Booker T pinched Triple H in a multi-man match or a tag match or something like that, and he goes, and then Triple H is kind of like completely battered from it.
Yeah.
Like mentally. And Ric Flair's like, you can beat him, you're the man. And then Triple H is holding that title very drearily and saying, why don't you tell Booker T that? It was like, oh yeah, this man he's mentally finished.
Yeah.
Or he's trying to convince himself he can do the job.
Yeah.
And then somehow because he's Triple H he can, but that's a different case.
Yeah, but hey, yeah, it could have been Kofi Mania before Kofi Mania, but hey.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is where we had to cut the episode into 2 because we ran super long. So this is us signing off. Hope you catch us in part 2 of Booker T's awesome career. And I have been Carl Charles. Thank you for listening to Trip Around the Multiverse. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, sub to the YouTube channel because you're here, so you might as well. And until the next video, thank you for taking a trip with us around the multiverse. Bye.